You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted best of Pahrump for 4 years. Give them a call, 775-727-9900. News 25 is also brought to you by Gunny's Air Conditioning and Heating, new, service, and repair. Call Gunny's, 775-727-6800.
Welcome to this edition of News 25. I'm Unat Gentry. Thanks for joining us on Ace Country Radio. And we're also streaming at KPVM.TV. We're also on your Roku devices. It is Thursday, June 26th. In our top story, General Dan Kane, who serves as the 22nd chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the nation's highest-ranking military officer, and the principal military advisor to the President, Secretary of Defense, and National Security Council, offered new facts concerning Iran. And our News 25 Las Vegas correspondent, Maria Centers, now joins us with that story.
Earlier this morning from the nation's capital, Air Force Lieutenant General John Dan Raisin Kane, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, addressed the press from the Pentagon concerning current tensions within the Middle East. In his approximated 20-minute discourse, General Kane opened with words of gratitude at the immense amount of courage, determination, and strength it took from our servicemen and women stationed out of Al Udeid Air Force Base. Here's a look at key comments from our Joint Chiefs of Staff.
As the sun sets in the west, Iran attacks. As the targets were detected, round after round of Patriot missiles are ejected from their canisters by an initial launch charge. Then the main solid rocket motor ignites. You can feel this in your body if you've ever been around a Patriot taking a shot. And round after round goes out and guides against those missiles coming inbound. We believe that this is the largest single Patriot engagement in U.S. military history.
Of the mission, VP and veteran J.D. Vance stated, quote, "I can say to the American people with great confidence that they are much further away from a nuclear program today than they were 24 hours ago."
Our U.S. air defenders had only seconds to make complex decisions with strategic impact. These awesome humans, along with their Qatari brothers and sisters in arms, stood between a salvo of Iranian missiles and the safety of Al Udeid. They are the unsung heroes of the 21st century United States Army. This really demonstrates the combat capability and capacity of our Army air defenders. Simply stated, they absolutely crushed it.
Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard commented, quote, "The operation was a resounding success. Our missiles were delivered precisely and accurately, obliterating key Iranian capabilities needed to quickly assemble a nuclear weapon," end quote.
You do not build a multi-layered underground bunker complex with centrifuges and other equipment in a mountain for any peaceful purpose. Yesterday, I had the incredible honor and privilege of spending time with these two Defense Threat Reduction Agency officers who've given so much. One of them said, quote, "I can't even get my head around this. My heart is so filled with the pride of being a part of this team. I am so honored to be a part of this."
Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth added, quote, "Given the 30,000 pounds of explosions and the capability of those munitions, it was devastation underneath Fordo. Any assessment that tells you otherwise is speculating with other motives," end quote.
We think, we develop, we train, we rehearse, we test, we evaluate every single day. And when the call comes to deliver, we do so. I could not be more proud standing up here today of our joint force. I'm filled with gratitude that I get to tell their story. And as we stand here right now, our forces remain on a high state of readiness in the region, prepared to defend themselves. And one last thing, our adversaries around the world should know that there are other DTRA team members out there studying targets for the same amount of time, and will continue to do so.
As always, on behalf of everyone here at KPVM Television, thank you to all of our past, present, and future U.S. servicemen and women. Reporting from Las Vegas and shooting it back over that hump to the paradise of Pahrump, I'm Maria Centers for News 25.
And get ready for some high-octane action in the desert. Legacy Racing's Baja Nevada is back, bringing hundreds of off-road racers to Pahrump for one of the most challenging point-to-point races in the country.
We have about 120 vehicles, cars, trucks, side-by-sides, motorcycles, quads, and even a few three-wheelers. There's about 500 people out here. Actually, I think we're closer to about 800 going to be out in the desert this weekend.
And what are we going to see? This is a big race. I mean, it's long.
Yes, we're starting here in Pahrump. We're heading all the way up to about Hawthorne, where we kind of go up towards Rawhide and Gabbs and come back down here to Pahrump, where we'll finish starting late Friday into all day Saturday.
Oh my. So what do we expect to see in a race like this? What is the typical situation that the drivers go through?
Well, this race isn't typical. There's definitely long hours, lots of just hydration, lots of miles to cover, lots of different terrain. A lot of these guys are going to get tired and exhausted and start seeing funny things out in the desert because it's just, they're going to be racing for at least 36 hours.
What is an average speed for the high-end cars to down to the lower quads and motorcycles?
We're averaging probably about 60 to 80 miles an hour for our fast guys. On these flat, dry lakes, they're going to probably hit up to 100 and 120. On some of the really rocky stuff, they're going to get down to about 15 to 10 miles an hour because some of those washes can be pretty gnarly.
Yeah, let's talk about that. How many tires do you think that these guys will go through in a race? What's the normal tire change?
If they got really good tires, they might have one or less. I think on a race with 1,000 miles, they're looking at least 2 or 3 tire changes.
Tell me where you are right now and where it goes to and where you end.
Okay, so we're starting tomorrow in Johnny, which is just out here outside of Pahrump. We're going, like I said, all the way up to Hawthorne. We're going through Gabbs, coming through Tonopah, and then we're going to finish back here in Pahrump.
If somebody wanted to go out and watch this, where would be a good place to watch the event?
If you head to Tonopah, they're coming and going through there quite a few times. That's a really good spot to watch. Even here in Amargosa Valley, they're coming through a few times, so that's another good spot to stop and spectate. We are doing a parade escort tomorrow morning at 7:50 a.m. We're leaving the Nugget and we're heading to Johnny, so if you're here in Pahrump, head out to the 160 and you can hang out and watch them go by.
And in parts 2 of this story, News 25 also spoke with a few of the racers to see how they're feeling about this challenging race.
So we're out here at the Nugget. You guys are both motorcycle riders. Tell me, we'll start with the young man because he's a pro, I hear.
That's what they call me, I guess. We're the first bike off the line tomorrow at 3 a.m., so it's going to be a dogfight all the way until the end. So just got to keep our pace and kind of conserve ourselves throughout the day.
And sir, I understand you're going to be out there too. It's nice to see this adults out there, older guys.
We're seasoned riders. So my racing career reignited about 3.5 years ago, racing with Vinny, racing the amateur class, and we took a couple championships here with Legacy. So now he's outpaced me. I can't keep up with him anymore. So hence the pro, and I'm just a normal little expert. But yeah, I'll be starting on bike 339, Team Laugh Racing. My teammates are Brian Lopez and Thomas Tangadal. I'm going to start and go 313 miles all in one go. We're going to get it done. I have my chase crew. We're fortunate to have a lot of people behind us. And this is like a little family out here, and we're happy to be in Pahrump, support Pahrump, and support Legacy and Donald Liz and Christy, and hopefully have a good time, have a good race.
We are from Shreveport, Louisiana, so we some boys from down in the swamp coming all the way out here to the west to drag some boys in the desert.
Yeah, so tell me just a little bit about the race tomorrow.
Yeah, this is probably going to be the toughest race that I've ever done, and so it is the longest one-day race in North American history, and it's all off-road, so if you don't know, it's going to be 3-foot deep whoops, nasty jumps, rocks, like every terrain change through the mountains, every terrain change you can imagine for 1,035 miles. So it's going to be a tough, long day for us. Right now we plan on about 100 miles for 2 hours. So right now we're planning on being in the car for 20 hours straight. Me and my co-driver are one of the few teams that are going for it. We're going to try to Ironman this thing. There's going to be a lot of pit stops throughout the day. We're planning to stop about every 120 miles to let the team look at the car, fill the car up, get some food and hydration, and then keep it moving. So it's going to be a lot of logistics, a lot of fuel, and a difficult race to run.
And the company you're racing for is?
S3 Power Sports. It's our little shop out of Louisiana that actually builds these race cars for all these guys out west. And so we come a long ways to have a whole lot of fun, but also to show off our cars and our products at the races.
Las Vegas Aces star and WNBA champ and MVP Asia Wilson is now a part of the 5,000 Club. We'll explain after this break.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, Mikey Ruhan's passing the ball to Asia Wilson now of the Las Vegas Aces, talking about her 5,000 accomplishment and much more in our sports report.
Time now for your News 25 look at sports and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices. The Las Vegas Aviators demolished AI Albuquerque Isotopes last night, 13-2. Rematch tonight at 7:05. Asia Wilson scored 22 points and became the fastest WNBA player with 5,000 career points as the Las Vegas Aces beat the Connecticut Sun on Wednesday, 85-59. And of course, what do you do after you get most career points in the WNBA? You autograph someone's baby, of course. Gatorade is celebrating Las Vegas Aces star Asia Wilson's latest accomplishment. The sports drink brand announced it'll drop a limited edition squeeze bottle in honor of Wilson scoring her 5,000th career point on Wednesday. Cooper Flagg went number 1 in the 2025 NBA draft on Wednesday, picked by the Dallas Mavericks. Flagg, who just finished a banner season as a forward for Duke University, led his team to the Final Four and won College Player of the Year as a freshman. He's the 5th Duke player to be drafted in the number 1 spot since 1999. He led the team in scoring with 19.2 points per game. And that's your look at sports on News 25.
Great job there, Mikey. Almost as good as Asia Wilson. And I have to admit, when I heard she autographed a baby, I just assumed it was the dad who passed the baby. I apologize to all dads out there and sports enthusiasts. Well, turning back now to more local news, Valley Electric Association customers will soon see changes on their monthly bills. Starting this July 1st, the utility is adjusting its basic service charges across several customer categories, including residential, commercial, and irrigation accounts.
This segment of News 25 is brought to you by Valley Electric and its family of companies focused on serving our members. We're better together.
Starting with your July bill, residential members will see a $5 increase on the basic service charge. General service customers will see a $5 basic increase on the basic service charge, and small commercial and large commercial will see $15 and $20 respectively. A utility like NV Energy is an IOU. They're owned by shareholders, and any profits they make goes to the shareholders. Valley is a not-for-profit, member-owned cooperative. So what that means is any margins or profits that we make, when we make money above the expenses that we had, those monies go back to the members at some point in the future. Our board of directors lives here locally. Most of our employees live locally. So anything that we do that impacts the community also impacts us. We're very cognizant of, the people that we serve are our neighbors, our friends. And so anytime we're making decisions like this, we take that into account. The last time this charge was adjusted was in 2022. And since then, Valley has seen, and the industry in general has seen, price increases across the board of materials that we have to buy. So for example, poles, wires, transformers, vehicles, all those have increased drastically over the last few years since 2022. Valley Electric, first, we don't own generation. All the electricity that we sell to our members, we have to buy on the market. That's one big component of the cost of service for us to provide to the members. The other component is the wires, poles, and transformers that we have to have in place to serve the members. Those facilities have to be in place regardless of whether a customer uses any kilowatt hours whatsoever. So the basic service charge is meant to cover those costs and not the variable costs that are associated with cost of power. We're constantly looking at how to be efficient, save money for our members. For our budgeting process, each manager in our utility have the control of their own budget. through the budgeting process, they have to justify what cost increases and what additional needs they have for the coming year. We bring all those together, department by department, to a utility as a whole, and then we go through several iterations to make sure that we're being as efficient as we can with our members' money. If you have concerns about your ability to pay your bill, please call our main number. One of our member service representatives will be able to help you with any kind of billing assistance and tell you what's available for help.
This Friday is National Sunglasses Day. How you can protect your eyes and health after this break.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500.
Welcome back. Well, be sure to put on your coolest UV blocking pair because tomorrow is National Sunglasses Day. And we've always been told that sunglasses help protect our eyes from the sun, but exactly what kind of injuries will sun damage cause our eyes?
Today's health report is brought to you by Desert View Hospital. When you or a loved one needs medical attention, Desert View Hospital is ready to help. We've been providing friendly and compassionate care to our neighbors since 2006, including emergency services available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Visit desertviewhospital.com to learn more. With limited exceptions, physicians are not employees or agents of this hospital.
The sun can be very dangerous to the retina. It can cause solar retinopathy and also increase your risk for other retinal diseases. But not only that, it just accelerates aging, right? Just like the sun accelerates aging of the skin, it can also accelerate aging of the eye and also put you at increased risk for skin cancers.
Dr. Nicole Byach is an ophthalmologist with Cleveland Clinic. She says when it comes to buying sunglasses, there is not much of a difference between a pricey pair and something cheap. What matters is the UV protection. They should have 100% UV protection, sometimes known as UV 400. Dr. Byach also recommends picking sunglasses with larger lenses. The smaller lenses, while trendy, do not offer a lot of coverage for your eyes and the skin around them. And speaking of lenses, what about the kind with a mirror finish?
One thing that I always get asked about are the mirrored lenses. So that's actually polarization, and that actually just cuts down glare. So it's not necessarily for the UV protective factor, but it cuts down on glare. So, people ask, do I need to get, polarized lenses? If you do want to cut down on glare to help with sports or driving, then yes, it's a great option.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Let's take one of our last looks of June through our Lerner and Rowe weather cam at this beautiful end of June and beginning of summer weather. Not a cloud in the sky in that direction and no gusty breezes. We'll take a closer look at temps after the break.
Weather is sponsored by the Nevada Dairy Farmers and the Dairy Council of Nevada, sharing the love of all things dairy. Celebrate the best moments with milk. Milk the moment. And the weather is also brought to you by the Ponderosa Dairy, Nevada's largest dairy, fresh from our farm to your table.
Good evening, Nevada. My name is Rory Rosell, coming to you from the Channel 25 Weather Studios and taking a look at Nevada right now. Up in northern Nevada, Fernley is seeing 92 degrees, Fallon is seeing 94, Carson City is 85, Tonopah is at 88, Goldfield's at 87, Beatty is at 98 degrees, Amargosa is at 103, 102 in Las Vegas, and then 114 in Death Valley today. But here in the beautiful Paradise Pahrump, it's currently 99 degrees. The high today was 101 degrees. With sunny skies, the wind was blowing south-southwest at 12 miles per hour. Humidity was 8% today, and the sun rose this morning at 5:26 and is setting tonight at 8:05 p.m., the humidity raises up to 14%, and the wind continues to blow southeast at 10 miles per hour. The low tonight's going to be 72 degrees. Let's take a look at our 7-day forecast. We will be seeing all triple digits for the next 7 days. It will be 101 tomorrow on Friday, 103 on Saturday, up to 104 on Sunday, and 105 on Monday. And then we go back down just a little bit, 104 on Tuesday, and then 103 both on Wednesday and Thursday. So make sure to stay hydrated because we are staying in the triple digits, especially here in Pahrump and a lot of southern Nevada. That is going to be it. Back to the desk. Here's Unette.
Thanks so much, Rory. Yes, those triple digits are back. So stay hydrated out there, drink plenty of water, and try to stay in the shade or inside. Well, that does it for this edition of News 25. I'm Unette Gentry, and from all of us here at KPVM and A's Country Radio, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the air next month. Good night.